What's going on? What's going on, good people? You know what time it is. It's the pregame meal. Go ahead, unloosen your belt buckles, sit down at the table, pull up a chair, get a plate. We got you covered today. It's the pregame meal. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way in. Let's go. BirdCage. Welcome to the pregame meal. You know what time it is. This is your boy, the historian, in the place to be. Pull up a chair, sit down, get your liquor, get your Kool-Aid, your sweet tea, whatever you have. We got to bring it to the table because today the Falcons play against an old foe, two old foes at that. You got Dan Quinn and you got Marcus Mariota coming in town right now for the Washington Commanders. Welcome to those who are tapping in with us for the first time. Hey, this is how we got to get to it, man, and we'll see what's going on. What's up, Jonathan? Welcome, my brother. Appreciate you for stopping through. Definitely remember you from last year. Let's get to it. Today is a game that we got to get things right. It's just what it is at this point. This is a game that the Falcons have to have a bounce back. And at this point, you have no excuses. Marcus Mariota is a quarterback. Scary Terry's not, man. The starting running is out. Cooks are. You have a banged up Washington team. Their defense is suspect. Just gonna be honest with you on that. Yeah, you got Bobby Wagner. You have all other pieces. There's no way in hell that you should lose today because you're not really dealing with a ton of injuries right now. You're not. You have a solid running game. You have to figure out how to put the ball in the air. Period. You got to figure out how to put the ball in the air. You have to figure out how you're going to get everything squared away. At this point, the one thing that you can say about this Falcon team is this. They damn sure love Bijan Robinson because so far, he's been the only guy that's been able to put up. You have to remember that you have a ton of talent on this team. Damn near half of your offensive unit are all first rounders. Jake Matthews, Lindstrom, and you look at it, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney is a former first round pick. And then you have so many other things that you have to deal with. Now, I got to address this because I talked trash last week. It's just what it is at this point. Shout out to the Alabama Crimson Tide. They kicked our ass yesterday, and we shot ourselves in the foot. Game should have been won by the Dogs, but guess what? We didn't execute. We didn't do what we needed to do. We took an ass whooping. No excuses. That falls on the coaching staff, which pretty much gets me to my next point. The coaching staff in Atlanta has been the issue with this team. This team is talented from top to bottom. Top to bottom. There's no way in hell that you should be outperformed today. None. You got a better defense right now. You got cooked last week because of piss poor decisions. You have a better offense right now. You're supposed to put up points. This Washington team is decimated at this point. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that we're going to talk about is this. Now that Ike Hilliard is out the door, even though he was a scapegoat, which I stand on that from what I said earlier this week, when are we going to start holding our offensive coordinator to a standard? That's my question. When are we going to start holding him accountable? Because at this point, Zach Robinson is a serious problem. Today is a day that he has to have one of his best games because now that you've gotten rid of the receiver coach, if your receivers are still struggling at this point, you got a quarterback coaching receivers and TJ Yates. Makes no sense. No sense at all. You right now have to figure out a way how to get your playmaker started. I stand with I stand with what Ray McCloud said earlier this week. I stand with that. Ray McCloud said earlier this week, it's everybody needs to play like their job is on the line. And really, everybody's job is on the line because you're not winning. So at this point, I know you don't want to go away from the pistol, but you truly don't understand how Sean McVay offense works. You truly don't understand how Mike LaFleur offense works. You truly don't understand that system of offense. Zach Robinson is as stubborn as Mike Gundy, his old head coach that he played for out there in Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy lost his job because of stubbornness and not being able to produce. And rumor has it, and this was according to excuse me. This was actually according to our guy, Mr. It's around the NFL. Let me go ahead and put it up. Ian Rappaport. He ended up getting in on it. And then you also had around the NFL, and they talked about Zach Robinson possibly taking the job at Oklahoma State after this year. He's on a short end list. And right now, I wouldn't mind him getting the hell on now. I know it's early, but if you can't figure this out against a wounded team and you can't win, then you need to have this discussion. Then you have to let TJ Yates be the interim OC because he was calling plays in the preseason. He understands this offense. He's here. You know, you got a guy who understands how to use playmakers because he looked it a little bit better than what our OC looks like now in the preseason. And that's not saying much, but hell, at this point, you gotta get your head out your ass. You gotta get your head out your ass. And all you can do is just chuckle. What's going on, GA Texas boy? You know, I dropped the link. If y'all want to come in, y'all definitely can. We got you guys covered in the here in the pregame meal. Here's something else that I need. Here's something else I want to point out. The special teams coach has also been a serious problem here. Hey, Jonathan, I got on the perfect shirt for you today. I got Esther right here. Watch it, sucker. That's why I'm at with it. That's why I got it on for folk like you today. But let's be honest, though. Special teams has been abysmal this year. From the kicking, kick returning, punt returning, kick coverage, punt coverage. It's got to change. It's got to change. That's the third phase of the game that we're not capitalizing on. You know, we're having all these kickers come in and there's no continuity. You're asking these guys to come in off the street and try to produce. They don't understand. They don't have a comfort level with pretty much with the line that's blocking for them. They definitely have not really practiced with this team, and you're pulling guys off the street. You watch them kick a couple of times and that's it. Like, no, you have to have some continuity with a kicker. It's just what it is. Their job is to produce points. Period. Their job is to produce points. If they can't produce points, they don't need to be here. Now, the other thing is, like I said, when are we going to get our punt coverage right? When are we going to get our kick return coverage right? At this point, it's just like it sucks. It sucks all the way around. But this is what management wanted. They decided to go in this direction. So with the results that we have in this direction, you can't do anything but just laugh. The person that needs to come back and they need to offer is Keith Armstrong. You got to offer Keith Armstrong a job. You got to bring him back. Keith Armstrong is the reason why one of those special teams units was good, because guess what? He held people accountable. A lot of people saw the infamous video when he was in the special teams room and he was giving people hell at that time. He held people accountable. And this man needs to have a job at this point. Needs to have a job. You know, he ended up with the Tampa Bay Bucks and, you know, and won a Super Bowl. He's been with us for a couple of years, and we're in a spot where we need to win so we can make this thing work. But until we can understand winning that third phase of the game, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Now, offensively, everybody always wants to talk about the quarterback. Everybody wants to talk about what we're not doing, what we're seeing from this offense. Quarterback can't make plays if his offensive line can't block for him. This is an argument that we had. You're going up against a solid front four. Can we keep them at bay? Can we make these plays? Can we make the adjustments? Can we keep Michael Penix upright? We're at home. We're not in a tough environment. We're at home. You have no choice but to play well. This game is on a national stage. You're going to be on television playing against the Washington Commanders. And it's going to be a drag down, slap out fight. Yeah, they have players missing, but you have to attack them. If you're not attacking them offensively, your defense has to put on a performance like we put on against the Minnesota Vikings. You were ranked number 2 in the league for a reason. We saw the flashes. You got to let JPJ hunt. You got to let Jalen Walker be an off-ball linebacker, pretty much to run with the quarterbacks and make plays. You have to let Divine Diablo be who he is, but we have to establish a pass rush. Ruka Roro has been MIA. I know people love him, but let's just be honest. Ineffective this year so far. I want him to step up and do better. There's another guy that stepped up is Brandon Dorlus. Dorlus, we've been waiting on him for years. And until Dorlus can be consistent, it's not going to happen. You got to let Zach Harrison hunt in this ball game coming up. He's shown the aptitude to be able to make plays. He's shown that. The one thing that I think is the most dangerous thing of all, and it comes from all football teams, you can't read your own press clippings. We started to do that, and we started to being in a situation to where those press clippings are detrimental. Nick Saban used to call it rat poison. It's what it is. That's great. You know, there's still people who believe in the tooth fairy too. So, you know, that's your opinion. It's all good. The tooth fairy definitely exists in your heart because truth of the matter, y'all really ain't that good like you guys were last year. Just going to keep that a buck. And even with Mariota having a game against the Raiders, and the Raiders are trash, again, you're facing a whole different team. So I would make sure that you're there after the post-game show this year, and you don't duck out. Because see, everybody likes to show up when they win, but they never come back here when they lose. So no, it's not even just Penix. I believe in the staff. I believe in this staff. I have no idea what happened. That was just weird. StreamYard to StreamYard, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. But as I'm saying, I believe in this whole team as a whole because I saw that they can actually play. But at the same time, it's a whole long season. 14 games left. Can the Falcons handle business? And it starts today. Now, I open this thing up for the fans to come in. I actually have the link. I'm going to put it on. I'm actually going to also put it on X as well, because this game today is a game that the Falcons, they have to have. They can't situation. And the thing is, they can't be in a situation where they just give up the draws the way that they're doing. You just can't do it. And you can't hope to win a ball game. You got to go out here and do it. You got to execute. You're at home. You have no choice. So I put the link in. I've also put the link in X as well. This is on StreamYard for you guys. Here's the other thing I want to see more of. We got to see this defense play aggressive. We got to see this defense play aggressive. If this defense does not play aggressively, then it's going to harm us later on. It's going to harm us. Can we get to the quarterback? Can we make Mariota uncomfortable? Because again, we know Mariota doesn't like pressure. I know a lot of people love him because of what he did at Oregon. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. And let's just be honest, he stayed employed as a journeyman quarterback. He's not a bust, he's a journeyman. But I don't think he's good enough to beat us today if we execute and handle business. So at the same thing, I'll just say this here. We just have to figure some things out. Period. And today is a soul-searching game. Today is a true soul-searching game. Now let's go ahead and we're going to pull up the injury report for today. And while I'm pulling up the injury report, all right, Jonathan, I'll say this, bro. Jonathan, there's an old joke. Y'all changed y'all name to the Commanders to try to get some respectability. Y'all are the Washington Deadskins. Y'all haven't won a damn thing since Joe Gibbs was the head coach in 1991 when you won your last Super Bowl. You haven't won anything since. You've been literally up and down and trash in your division. Period. Now, you could come in here and tap in with us or whatnot. And you're absolutely right. We haven't won anything. You're absolutely right. And I'll throw some historical facts for you. Y'all were the last team in the NFL that had to get a presidential letter threatening for that team to leave Washington to put black players there. So that says enough for me. So it is what it is. But I appreciate you for tuning in. You definitely are helping me pay bills and keep the lights on while you're sitting in here tuning in. So thank you, my brother. Appreciate you for coming in. I love the banter because you're helping me keep the lights on. Continue to keep supporting us, dog. But getting back to it, talking about the Washington Commanders, a.k.a. the Deadskins, we're going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and put the injury report up, and this is what we're going to see today. And this is why I say we have no excuses when playing against Washington today. Still, like I said, StreamYard today. I think this is hilarious, but we got it up and running. Let's talk about it. Trey Amos right now is pretty much, he's got a calf injury. He had full participation Friday. That's going to be a game time decision. John Bates is out. Noah Brown is out. Percy Butler, he's questionable. Ja'Cory Crooksy Merritt, he's questionable right now, but at the same time, is he going to be effective in this game? You got Jaden Daniels and Scary Terry, they're out, and then you have Colson Yankoff, who's out, but you still got Zach Ertz, who's starting at this point. Now for the Falcons, Nathan Carter, hamstring, he's out. Hodge is out. Terrell is out. Agnew's making his debut. Helms will probably get some burn on special teams. JPJ will probably be a full go, but they're going to probably have him on a pitch count. Casey Washington, he might participate depending on how things go. And Kyle Pitts, he's going to play, even with that toe injury. The Falcons are in a spot right now where they have to produce. But they have to produce at this point. Now, the one thing that is going to be critical at this point is how do we attack Washington? How do we attack Washington? And when you look at how you attack them, you have to stop their running game because they run the ball by committee. They run the ball by committee. And when you look at how they run the football, they like to gas you. They like to put you in different positions that are a bit uncomfortable. And according to, and I'm gonna pull this up for you guys so you guys can see this. And it's according to USAA, USA Today, going off the NFL records. The Commanders are actually 7th in the NFL through 3 weeks, scoring 80 points, and they're averaging 5.8 yards per offensive play, and they're ranking 6th in the league. However, the offensive line has received mixed reviews this year, being 12th overall. So when you really look at it, they're missing some key pieces, and their offensive line is inconsistent. It's up and down like the price of gasoline right now. So the consistency has to be there for them to operate. It's the same issue that we have, consistency. Until we get that consistency correct, this is going to be the same thing, period. Period. So I see this as, like I said, it's going to be a drag up type of fight today. Now, there's a couple of teams that's pulling for us today. I know I live here in Philly. These Eagle fans are pulling for us to beat Washington. And also the New York Giants are pulling for us to beat Washington at this point because, again, we're doing the Lord's work, as they would say. Definitely got to get back to 500. It's still 14 games in the season. It's no need to panic right now. We're all right. Long season. We just have to be consistent. And it starts with the fan base. Can the fans be consistent? Can the fans affect Washington in this game? Washington travels well. They travel well. So when you look at how Washington is going to be on offense, we got to make it hard for them. We got to get them some false starts. I know you're in your feelings still from losing to Carolina last week, folks. Get out of it. It's in the can. Same thing with the Dogs right now. You got to get out your feelings. It's in the can. You got to move on to next week. It's over with. You crying and belly aching is not going to change it. Right now, you just got to support. You can speak your piece, but you got to support because we have to affect them in a hostile road environment. If we can't make this a hostile road environment, this is going to be an easy ball game for them to get comfortable. And the last thing we need is them to get comfortable in our house. Now, today, I would like to see a healthy dose of Tyler Algier coming out of that backfield today. Love Bijan, but Washington is two teams that Tyler Algier has a hard on for. Pause. Washington is one. The Carolina Panthers is the other one. If you ever pay attention, he just runs hard all the time, but he runs with a purpose with those two teams. Those two teams. And all I can say is this. We have a chance to feed him, get him going, and then you can put Bijan in the sense. Are we going to be able to see some packages where we see Bijan and Tyler on the field at the same time? Are we? Or are we going to see the same thing? Pistol formation, handing off 6 yards in the backfield. Darren Orlovsky picked up on this long time ago, and he pointed it out. He pointed it out this week. Atlanta has too much talent on this team to be underperforming offensively, period. You got to get under center. You got to start running play action. You have to put Penix in a position to where he gets comfortable. I've suggested you need to have the 2-minute offense. He's got to start off, to me, in that 2-minute offense. And if you start him in the 2-minute offense, he settles down. He keeps the defense on his heels. He puts them at bay. Because guess what? They got to account for his legs too. So Penix is going to have to use his legs today to stretch their defense out to make them think. If you don't make a Dan Quinn defense think, they're going to pin their ears back and they're going to come after you. And that's one thing you got to give them. They have an aggressive style defense, and the way that you beat them is you have to go at them. It's like hitting a train. You got to hit it head on to stop it. Knock it off the tracks. That's how you have to attack that defense. And offensively, we have the weapons to do so. Defensively, I just need my secondary to hold up today. I need them to hold up. We got young pups back there. I think Billy Bowman is a hell of a player. He's going to be a problem. Last week showed the youth between him and Xavier Watts. I think they're going to be a great combination for years to come. Jesse Bates has got to be a hell of a lot better in this sense. We got Pink Slip Will in the building. Pink Slip, what it do? It's time to cash in, my God. What's happening? You on mute, brother. I can't hear you. Might have to pop out and pop back in.
Yeah,
There we go.
I can hear you now. I had to come up.
Man,
Yeah, that was me on my headset, man.
let's cash in, my boy. What's going on?
Oh yeah, what's going on, man? I'm gonna make it short and sweet. It ain't gonna be too long. My three keys to victory, man. Like I said, it's gonna be line of scrimmage, both sides. Defensive line got to get pressure. Offensive line have to block well for Penix. And number two, man. Drake London and Darnell Mooney and Kyle, I'm not worried about Kyle Pitts, but you guys got to step up. Ray McLeod, you guys got to step up and make plays. We're gonna need they have to move Michael Penix around. We can't have Michael Penix in the pistol formation. I understand we have to keep it like that, but we can't do dick and dunk. And number three, we have to create turnovers on defense and tackle. Sound tackling will be critical this game. So if we get off of third downs and get a couple turnovers, and give the offense short field advantage, then we can win this game. But my thing is, we can't rely on Bijan Robinson all game, all day long, because they're gonna adjust and penny airs back.
And here's the thing, like you said, I've been saying this for the longest. You've gotta use all these offensive weapons that you have, and you have to punt. And when you get in the red zone, you got to get points. You can't get field goals.
You
You
guys,
have to get touch.
exactly. No field goal.
And if you can't get touchdowns in the red zone with all this talent, then it might be time for you to go ahead and step down and head to the college ranks.
Facts,
Because
facts.
right now he's being rumored to be on the short list for Oklahoma State, his alma mater. So with him being with his alma mater at this point, you really see that it's really a step up.
Mm-hmm.
What it do? What it do?
And
Hey, what's going on? Shout out to my boy Andre. He does his thing over at the No Scholarship Podcast. You want to listen to great college football analysis? He does his thing. He's doing the damn thing over there. Shout out to Dre. He's a New York Giants fan, so he's pulling for us today to beat his division rival today. So we got to do the Lord's work because your
yes,
Alabama Tide, your Alabama Crimson Tide, definitely gave us an L yesterday in our house. So congrats to y'all. No excuses. We didn't execute
yeah.
like we should have at the end of that ball game because again,
Miscommunication, Ryan,
yeah,
man,
it was all the way
miscommunication,
around.
and it was the team who weren't really prepared. You got to prepare every week, like it's a playoff game.
Yeah.
That's from college and that's from the NFL. You can't take no opponent lightly. And I think Alabama, they came with a game plan. The quarterback didn't gave too many turnovers that game. He kept the quarterback in. I mean he kept the wide receivers in motion, and we couldn't get critical stops. So salute
Here's the
Alabama.
thing. Alabama didn't score a single point in the second half.
That he
And
didn't.
and here's the problem. That offense, Georgia's offense had 3 crucial drives and they didn't get points. And when they had a chance to get points, they
Yeah,
didn't take it. And they got an
capitalize.
automatic field goal kicker. But I'm
Yeah,
not gonna get too far off on the college tangent. I'm gonna say that for
yeah,
another episode.
yeah. We
But
talk that about it later. But yeah, but we
but
about this Commanders game.
but think about it though. There's a similarity with the Falcons and the Dogs right now. Think
Yeah,
about that. It is a
yeah, it is, and it was kind of crazy, but it's office it's scoring efficiently, like dropping critical touchdowns and critical catches in late ball games. That's kind of crazy. Was like Bobo not being creative and Zach Robinson not being creative in his
I
playbook.
can't, but you know what? I can't be mad at Bobo because the last 2 games from Tennessee and Georgia, the one thing you got to give him,
Yeah,
he put points on the
yeah,
board.
he put points on the board. Yeah, he got
Last
in
night,
his zone.
it was just a brain fart on a 4th and 1 that cost us. That's what that
Hmm.
was.
Yeah,
When you got a team on the ropes, you either take the points or you do, or you pretty much run the ball. Just
gotcha.
like today in this ball game, the Falcons have to be able to, when they get in the red zone, you've got to get points.
Yeah,
You got to get touchdowns.
exactly.
You got to be able to move the chains. You got to keep your defense off the field.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree.
Because
I agree with you because we cannot kick no field goals. This is a NFL. What have you done for me lately? And that Robinson and Raheem, I better see y'all calling good plays, game control, management. I want you on the players behind. If they screw up, And we cannot let our foot off the gas on the Commanders because Commanders known for making adjustments and coming back. So if I'm the offense, y'all better play like it's y'all contract. Y'all like Word and Cloud say rent is due. So I mean, you play like y'all rent need to be paid.
Man, and it's like this, man. Shout out, and this is another person I got to shout out to or whatnot. I got to shout out to got to give a quick shout out to Jeremy Bernard yesterday. Definitely incredible football player. Definitely was a talented player. And I'm gonna be honest with you on this. That's a player I wouldn't mind having in Atlanta. He can ball. And I mean, he does everything correct. And this is something that we look for in the receiving core.
Yeah.
Plays with tenacity, good hands, good blocker. And my thing is, I'm giving a shout out because he definitely deserved that because he's one of the best players in the country, and I think that he's going to be a great football player at the next level
I agree.
of what he brings to the table.
I agree.
If you put him in an offense that, in our offense, I fear to say this, but
but somebody got to go. I ain't cut you off, Ryan.
Offensive coordinator that's competent, that's going to use talent, because all you're going to do is piss away guys' prime years. Yeah. And the last thing you need to do is piss away these prime years because the window in the NFL to win is so small.
Short.
It is so small. And when you have a good team, you have to capitalize on that.
Gotcha.
You have to. And if we can't capitalize on winning ball games that we're supposed to win, or losing, or losing
team that we don't supposed to lose to,
and close games, you're really not gonna make it at all. And that's at any level. You're not gonna make it. But especially with the Falcons.
Yeah.
We go through the same song and dance every year. And Will, you hear me say this all the time. They gotta prove it to me. I'm not just jumping off the bridge. Yes, I'm gonna pull for him. Yes, it's logo business for me. I'm a diehard Falcon fan, but I'm a realistic Falcon fan that most people don't like the fact that I speak the truth about this team. And they say, "Oh, you too hard." Well, no, I'm not too hard on them because I called it.
Yeah, you just point on facts that what's need to be improved every week, and I agree with you, Ryan. And you said this last season, like now, right here, all this not praying preseason and biting them on the behind, so all the binoculars and the lens on you, so you can't hide from the truth no more. There's no sugarcoating about Ike Harris, anything like that. It's on you. You was the head coach. You had experience you was a wide receiver coach where you was with the Falcons, and you played defense according to where you was with LA Rams. So you got the head coach job. You have to prove it. And like you say, man, we can't afford to lose no more games. We have to at least get in the wild card this year. If we don't get in the wild card this year, then we got the clean house. Like I say, I'm praying he win the day and play with some 60 minutes football, because I'm tired of the teams just keep letting teams come back and rally around them. Somebody have to step up. I don't see nobody riding around the team and speaking up from one another and hold other people accountable. And that's one thing. And I mean, that's one thing I like about Philly. They got Billington boys that accountability, execution, everything. They got Billington boys on there. Why the fuckers can't have that, like, a logo held this stuff accountable? It's like these dudes here collect payroll checks, and I don't like that.
The one thing I say is this, man. I got to give a shout out to also Grambling State alumni, Mr. Doug Williams. He's in the building today. First black quarterback to win a Super Bowl in NFL history.
Salute.
His son, DJ Williams, is the quarterback's coach on our staff. One of the quarterback coaches.
Oh, yeah. I remember Doug Williams when we were with Tampa.
Yeah. And the thing was, Doug played a pivotal role in both of those franchises for Tampa and Washington. He goes to Tampa, and he was drafted in 78. They get to an NFC championship game in 79 and lose to the Rams. Yeah. And they win playoff games early, and they took over that division while he was there. When he left, they fell apart. He goes to Washington and is in a battle between him and Jay Schrader the whole time. And Joe Gibbs, who was the OC at Tampa at that time when he drafted him, brought him in, and you pretty much saw what he brought to the table. And rest in peace. And yes, I love the Southern Jaguars. I don't rock with Grambling like that, but I'm always gonna love Doug Williams, James Shaq Harris, Paul Tank Younger, because without those guys, they play a pivotal part in black players in the NFL. And shout out to the late great Eddie Robinson, who matriculated Doug to be that type of quarterback and to show that you can break those stereotypes. So we saw Doug Williams on the field chopping it up with his son, while he's at work. It's a beautiful thing to see just a father and son being together in general, but especially when you got the game of football to bring you together. So shout out to the legendary Doug Williams. You will always be a GOAT in my book, right along with Warren Moon and all those other quarterbacks that came before. But speaking of quarterbacks, how does Michael Penix respond after a lackluster performance last week?
I think Michael Penix is gonna come in the game plan with execution. It just is up to the players to execute and make critical plays and on scratches and keep the chains moving. I just want to keep it simple. Just do a little halfback scratches and just trying to get Kyle Pitts involved if they do a lot of blitzes, because we have to count on Payne and them. And I think they got what's that dude name who came from Carolina, Louis. I was trying to think his name, Frank
Louis.
We have to worry about him because he likes to do a lot of blitzes and use a lot of quarterback spies. So if I'm them, I'm using Kyle Pitts in different formation, or I'm using Drake in different formation, and we have to rely on running the ball and not trying to like keep using Bejan, but put Tyler on certain informations and we have to get Darnell and Drake and, like I said, the wide receiver core attack early on the field on vertical routes.
So, Will, this is the picture I was talking about. They literally took this a little while ago. That's Doug Williams and his son, Williams. Yep. So I wanted to make sure I pulled that up. Shout out to the Grambling State legend who was nominated for a Heisman, first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and to me, I feel like should be in the NFL Hall of Fame because he created a moment, that can't be duplicated, and he outdueled John Elway in that ball game.
Oh yeah. So, you know how the NFL is. They don't want high minority blacks to have their own.
No. I mean, here's my thing. The stereotype is being broken because you're seeing African Americans get in leadership positions when it comes to that. It's just the fact that it'd be nice to see an owner eventually, but that'll come in due time.
Yeah,
it's just the league's not ready for that yet. That's a whole nother.
No other topic. Yeah, we know. Me and you, we know how that works. So yeah,
I'm not gonna put that out there like that. But here's the thing, I gotta give credit to a lot of these guys on this team for not folding, because Ray McCloud said in that press conference this week, everybody's job is on the line and you need to play like it. Yep. And you need to coach like it. Ike Hilliard, it pissed him off that Ike left, but it shows you that the NFL stands for not for long. You won't be around much longer if you're not producing.
Yeah.
And that's with any job. Yeah. If you're not producing, you're gonna get
you got out the door. That's like you working a 9-to-5 job. If you're not consistent at your work craft or anything you're doing, they let you get your little week or two. Hey man, ain't no business. We'll appreciate your service and they'll let you go. And that's with anything from the military, from whatever you work at, you have to produce and you have to show consistency every day. So yeah, man. Like you said, man, everybody jobs on the line. I just don't want too much confusion for Michael Penix. Let's let him get the play, call the plays out on time. Let him feed the ball to Bejan and Tyler, and let him manage the game. We don't need to be throwing for 40, 50 passing, but like I say, if they start to run early and have to force us to pass, then we have to be creative. On defense side of the ball, we have to stop the run early and then force Marcus Mariota to make tough throws in man-to-man situations or a lot of zones. But I expect J.C. Bates III to get an interception from him, and I expect Billy Bowman to make some critical tackles from the run and at least in the pass game. And I know D. Alford, he don't have to worry about Terry McLaurin, but we still have to worry about that tight end Hurts, because Hurts killed us last season.
No, and I mean, here's my thing. This week, you got Mariota. You have to figure out a way how to keep him off the spot and keep his legs from being a weapon. Yeah. You have to be able to do that. If you can't keep his legs from being a weapon, it becomes a problem.
Yep.
It becomes a serious problem at this point because he's athletic enough. Now, one thing you can say about him, even though he was trash for us, he can throw the football downfield.
Oh, yeah.
He can throw it downfield when he has time or he's on the run.
Yep.
and he could put it on a rope. Now, he didn't do it much for us, but the times that he did do it for us,
Yeah.
you saw that he could be very effective.
But you know what's crazy part when he does a run on a run options, we can knock the ball out because he had fumble issues, mechanics issues on holding the ball. So that's what it is when he was with the Falcons 3 years ago. He had fumble issues, and then on late critical downs, he couldn't get in the end zone. So I think Jeff Ulbrich know the ins and out. What's Marcus Mariota, what's the his strength and what his weakness. I think that what his weakness is you pressure him more often, it's gonna be a long day for him. But if you give him time in the pocket, then you give him time to make mobile consistent plays while being mobile. Throwing the ball like how Josh Allen's of the world.
Mm. Well, I don't know. It just depends, Will. It
I think, but
depends.
I'm saying, but I think we need to give him like different looks, like a lot of corner blitzes, a lot of different blitzes and stuff like that. Because this game here, we have to have all 11. Nardo,
Nato, what's good, man? Got to get my man up in here. Time to cash in. He already on the
Man,
JOB. Go
man,
ahead,
you already.
go ahead and get that mess off your chest because I know you want to talk smack about that old sorry ass Alabama game yesterday.
Nah, I ain't got too much to say, man. Yeah, we gave y'all that game, and y'all gave it us. I mean, both team committed drops, penalties. It was a sloppy game,
And
so it could have went either way, bro. Y'all
hope
posted one, and I mean, we could say we posted one too. It went either way. I think it's like four committed things on each side.
yep. And here's the other issue. Now, this was something I said a little while ago, and if you look at it, the Falcons got some of the same problems both of them teams got. You
You
know what I'm
exactly
saying?
right. You're exactly correct. I'm saying the same thing.
Nardo, what's your takes for the
Behind this
game?
logo.
I apologize about that. I had issues StreamYard today, so y'all got to work with me. But when you look at the Falcons all the way around, this is a game that Zach Robinson has to figure this out. He has to figure this out because now it's on display right now. Your wide receiver coach is fired, so now you have to display competency today against a team that has players that are out. You have to show competency. If
Yep.
you can't do that, then it's time for you to get the hell on.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
here's the
I
thing.
agree.
I can't put all this on Michael Penix Jr. because he's a young player. And this is the problem that we have when you talk about young players. And they have to have somebody that's grooming them. You can have all the athletic ability in the world, but if you're not being groomed, Turbo's still loading up. I'll wait till he loads up. There we go. If you how can I put it? If you don't have anybody that's grooming you and teaching you how to be a better player, because all your mechanics and everything, you can tweak those. But you having a knowledge of the game and you having playmaking ability, that pretty much falls squarely on your development at that point. What was your development like? Because when you get to the league, all your flaws get exposed at that point. And you have to, now that your flaws are exposed, now you got to go to the lab and go to work. That's the difference between college and the pro. College, you can camouflage a lot. The pros, everything is exposed because D coordinators plan literally not just game plan for you, but plan for that scheme as well. But welcome into the building. We got my dog Turbo in the building, another member of the magnificent Birdcage. Give my dog a round of applause. Run it back, run it
Turbo.
Good, black and white. We gonna rise up. ATL that city. We gonna rise up. Can't
back.
play the music no more, but I still know it.
Hey man, see, and this is what made me mad about YouTube, man. YouTube sit there and clock you for that. Now, if we were just on X, that'd be a different story. We could go to town with that. But YouTube, boy, they copyright you for everything. But
Yep.
So here's the question I got for you, Turbo. You just popped in. In these games, we see Tyler Algier. For some reason, Washington and Carolina and New Orleans are the three teams he goes off on all the time. He always makes a big play in them games. How many carries do you think Tyler needs to get in this game? And also, how do you use Bijan in this game here?
Me, I would use Bijan as a primary decoy. Until they stop biting on him so much, I would start using him as just straight decoy. Now, Algier snap count, I would try to bump his snap count up to 15 to 20 plus, somewhere in that range, maybe a little more.
30, I say 30 for me.
That ain't a bad one either. Because once we start making it look like, oh, we ain't going to Bijan no more, then Bijan will be able to go right back off. It'll give him a little break, and it'll make defense a little bit more honest. It'll tell them, hey, just because Bijan out there, that don't mean he going. So I would love for Zach to get out the Bijan, take out the Bijan glasses and run him as a decoy a little bit. Open yourself up. Bring some trickery in it, man. Like, oh, stop. Yeah, like Gatboy said, we right on the same thing. Man, stop. He don't even ask Madden no more. He just bro just hit the same button every time on Madden. I'm gonna run it back. He don't even mirror the play to the other side no more. just give me these 3 plays and I'm gonna beat you.
And here's a question. You got Darnell Mooney, who's a speed guy, who's a good route runner and things of that sort. You got players that can make people miss. My question is, if we're going to do jet sweeps and end arounds, can we have a play where we have Penix to drop back and you have Mooney to come around and take a quick pitch and just follow his blockers and go?
They can do 2. They can do 2 and do it with Mooney and then pass out the Ray. McLeod.
We got stepping into the cage today, pulling up a plate before we get ready to close in a few minutes. We got Coach Terry McGriffin here, BirdCage alum. Appreciate it. What's happening, Coach?
You see I'm rocking my Braves.
Yes, sir. I see you. Look, the Braves done broke everybody's heart this year so far. We ain't even gonna talk about that. Let alone, look, the state of Georgia hurting right now. We lost to Alabama. The Braves is bad. See, Nando the only one up here that got a little bit of reprieve because he an Alabama fan. So
Georgia Tech, what Georgia Tech won today? Well, yesterday.
I ain't worried about Georgia Tech. I'm a Bulldog fan. That's my route. Hell with Tech.
Hey, I know it's Sunday, so you got to do a little worship. So I got one of my favorite artists. He got a song, "We Love Me Through My Good and My Bad." So that's what I'm doing right now.
So, Coach, now today you have a wounded lineup with Washington that's going to be here. Jay Daniels is not playing. You got Mariota. You got Cooksey that's hurt. And Scary Terry's not playing. So with this team defensively, how would you attack the Washington Commanders to get Mariota uncomfortable? And how do you stop this running back by committee type of rotation?
I would load the box and force Mariota to beat us with his arm. That would be the best way to do it. They don't have their top weapons, especially at the receiver spot. You know, you gotta if you got dogs out there, you gotta let them go eat, and you gotta make sure that you lose the way you want to lose. If Mariota beats you, you should be able to live with that. But if they do everything they normally been doing, that's on the players and the coaches. That's just bad, And I can't speak on after what I talked about last week, what we should do, and then Lord have mercy. I don't want to think about it.
I want to ask
I'm not even predicting anything. I'm just praying that common sense prevails today in the game planning, and them boys come with their A game and just play. But they've been bouncing back, Hey, 1 week good, 1 week not so good. So hopefully this is week good. So us folks in Georgia that love our Georgia teams, we need something to go right this weekend. So come on, Falcons.
Boy, I can't go 0-2 this weekend. I might have a damn nervous breakdown. I might have a nervous breakdown, and you might have to try to find me on my private line with that one.
Especially with this game being almost everywhere. I'm in Florida, and they showing it. It's the national game at 1:00. You know, the Jaguars don't score, so everybody's seeing this game. Everybody's seeing this game.
So
now there's
Nando,
more people watching this game than the Eagles Buccaneers game.
So Nando, I want to ask you something, bro, because it's something that you said in the chat Thursday on the show. What's one of the main things that concerns you about the continuity of this team?
It's offensive play calling. It's really no simplicity. Everything it's just simple. You know, ain't no diversity in the play calling at all. It's like Turbo said, we need to use some trickery. Algier needs at least 15 touches the next 5 or 6 ball games. We ain't stretching the field. We not even. I don't even think Pennett's got a completion of 30 yards. Maybe one of 20 yards. It's just a lot, man. We're just looking too simple on offense, and everybody's lighting us up. That's why Orlovsky said what he said. The other old OCs and former players said what they said. ESPN people and all that. Pro football people. We just gotta. It needs to be some diversity into the offensive play caller.
Who the hell is the deep threat right now? Who is it?
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, it's got to be
Darnell
Mooney.
Mooney.
They don't send him deep.
But Kyle
Has he
Pitts,
got a hamstring pull?
I don't know. I just think with the coaching staff, what Ike hears is like the dude's not playing with no emotion. None of the RC's not playing with emotion. Only person stepping up is Kyle Pitts, and we need Kyle Pitts this game here.
Hey, shout out to
the way they've been running, the way they run the ball. If they can run the ball with some play action pass, they should be at least
And shout out to Coach Brant in the chat right now. Definitely one of the main members of the BirdCage family. Does his thing out here. Magnificent BirdCage alum. He's showing a little love for Coach McGriff, and it's something I want to bring. I want to bring to the table. I'm gonna ask Coach McGriff this, and you guys also can join into this too. Now, Coach, on the coaching side of things, there was a situation that was very similar in Cincinnati before Bill Walsh went to San Francisco and turned it into a juggernaut. Remember, he lost his quarterback, but he had athletes on that offense. The difference in this situation is because Greg Cook, God rest his soul, Cook was a bad man.
I between my luggage.
Let me mute that. You got a guy in Greg Cook who is a hell of a quarterback, but career was cut short because of the arm injury. Now you got a guy that's a hell of a quarterback in Penix, but the thing is, we're running a simplistic offense that is very similar to everybody calls it the West Coast offense, but it's the Midwest offense because it was started in Cincinnati with Paul Brown and those guys. Do you think we need to have versions of this offense to where how this offensive line is struggling in pass pro? Do you just find ways to get your athletes passes to let them create and move the chains? Would you do that with a weak pass with a passing offensive line right now?
Well, first of all, yeah, you got to move the launch point. You got to get them out of the pocket. You got to do some rollouts. You got to have some you got to have some basically cross routes where you got guys crossing each other's face. There's the lack of imagination is very surprising because when I thought they brought this guy in that he was going to bring that, with Michael Penix, you had a guy who had a dynamic arm who also was a great athlete who can throw the ball on the run. While they're trying to make him stationary, it looks like they're trying to go back to their 70s and the 80s with some of their concepts. So it worked against Minnesota, but this is a different time, and you gotta do something that's going to really work to that kid's skill set. And I don't think he's doing a really good job at that. And maybe they'll take a look at that somewhere before the end of the season.
Turbo, what you think?
I like to see them roll Penix out some, like Coach said, roll them out a little bit. Put them on the center. Just different looks, man. Just let him create. Don't just stick him in the pistol or stick him in shotgun and then look crazy when you get pain, like we say back in the day. They painting him because they just rush him. They pin their ears back. They just rush him. So he's young. He's not gonna audible out or see it that quick to audible out of that. So it's just he gonna either take the sack or make a bad throw or try to leak it out to Bijan and get picked off.
I think they just want to make sure that they do something to keep him from getting hurt, but they remember they got a capable backup, and you still in the division race. You got to let this thing loose, man. You got to really put pressure on the defense, and by using all your guys as talent, that's the best way to do it. You can't be so vanilla and so committed to the run that you forget that you do have a passing game. It ain't like a lot of these other teams that got receivers who dropping balls. You get the balls to these guys' hands, they're gonna make something with it. So it's on the offensive coordinator to get more creative. Like I said, change the launch points, move stuff out. You got how many good tight ends the Falcons got? At least 2 to 3. Come on, you got to be creative. Look at instead of just running your traditional offense on your game plan and find out who you want to attack, who's your best matchups, and put your game plan around that. And you can always have your running game because you got to make sure you have your running game so that you can stay balanced.
And here's the other thing. We have a running game. The problem is you get hooked just on one person. That's the whole problem. And you're not rotating and you're not mixing it. Here's the thing. Bijan is the guy that's gonna slash. He's gonna break ankles. He'll be over here and there. But the one person that's gonna lean on you and wear you down is Tyler Algier. Think about it. Think about how the Falcons used to run the ball back in the day when you were watching them with William Andrews. Andrews was the guy that was gonna hurt you and outrun you, like Tyler Algier. Then you had Lynn Kane that was going to slash, that was going to cut on you, and then you also got to talk about BirdCage alumni Haskell Standback, another one who was going to hurt you with his speed and his vision and how he was going to run the rock. You have Carter in the backfield as well. Got to give Carter some credit because he hasn't had many times to touch the ball this year, but if he does touch it, he normally is falling forward. You have multiple backs, and Carter's not going to really play today, but you have multiple backs in this system right now that can hurt you. Now, the one thing that I said, and we're going to wrap it up, and y'all can chime in on this or whatnot because the game's starting in a few minutes. Start off in a 2-minute offense. Let Penix get settled in and let him get a defense on their heels. Go back to what the Buffalo Bills did. Go back to what the Houston Oilers did with the run and shoot, where a defense cannot get settled in. You got at least 15 to 20 plays that you're running and they can't settle in. You don't give them a chance to settle down. You keep them on their heels first so they're lost mentally. We got to start doing that with this offense, with all these playmakers we got. How do y'all feel about that?
I was gonna let the guys go because I've been talking. I think they need to do it, like I say, take advantage of all the weapons that they got at exposure, and then come up with an identity. Because I still don't know what the identity is of the offense.
Incompetence, but it's just what it is. Fellas, so what do y'all have for the score predictions while we get ready to shut this down and get ready for this ball game? Score predictions, folks.
I say Commanders 14, Falcons 24.
You stepping out on the ledge there, man.
Yeah, we gotta get this win.
Nando, your mic muted.
Nando, I got you, my boy. I don't know what happened. Go ahead, Nando.
Yeah, I said 27-17 Falcons. I think defense we need 3 sacks, a couple turnovers. Defense need to show out. Defense need to be the focal point and leading us to this dub today.
Turbo.
17 Falcons, 9 for the Commanders. We're gonna keep Pence of field goals on it.
And I say 23-17 Falcons.
28-21 Falcons is gonna be close because I know my defense is gonna give up some draws today. Like I already know. But long as we can slow them down when it's needed, we're gonna do it. But ladies and gentlemen, we thank you guys for tapping into the BirdCage's pregame meal show. We'll be back at halftime. I got you on your stats, and then we're also going to have the postgame show, the party line or the benediction. We'll catch you then. Appreciate you, Coach McGriff, Will, Nando, and my main partner, Turbo, thank you for coming through, my guy. We'll definitely see you after the game. Y'all be blessed. Enjoy this ball game. Don't let your feelings get into it. We got you covered. It's the pregame meal. Ghost.